The CEO is gone. The COO is gone. The head of audit, gone. And the partners, the people who spend decades climbing one of the most greatest career ladders on the planet, they are frantically calling recruiters, calling lawyers, calling anyone who will pick up. So this is KPMG Australia, May 2026, and I need to talk about it because this isn't just a Big Four story. I promise. This is a leadership story. It is playing out in organizations everywhere, just usually without the AFR headline, I promise, right? So welcome back. I'm Sonia, and this is Leadership with Sonia. Today, we're going deep on one of the most spectacular organizational collapses we've seen in Australia in years. And I'm going to give you 5 leadership lessons that will take you straight back into your team, your business, and your organization. These are not theoretical. They're not theoretical. They're real. They are urgent, right? Okay, so let's start. Let's go. Let me paint a picture for you. Okay, because this is really important for you. It's 2026. One of the most prestigious professional services firms on the planet is in freefall. Staff are describing the internal mood as chaos. People are showing up not knowing if their firm will exist by the end of the quarter, right? So clients are spooked, including the federal government, which was forced to apologize. Can you believe it? Here are some great leadership lessons. And mid-hearing during a federal parliamentary committee, ASIC's confirmed in real time that they have been investigating since April. Okay, you could not write about this, right? But here is the detail that stops me cold every single time. Every single time. The whistleblower who triggered all of this, he formally raised his concerns in May 2024. May 2024. 2 years ago, 2 years of opportunities to get ahead of this, 2 years of chances to investigate properly, act with integrity, and do the right thing. Alrighty. And instead, here we are, a firm in crisis, a leadership team in ruins, clients questioning who they can trust, an entire industry asking questions it should have been asking a long time ago. A long time ago. Okay, so tip number 1, culture is set at the top, and so is corruption. It's really important to understand this. And here's the allegation at the heart of this. KPMG partners reportedly use confidential client information, board papers obtained through their work with Lendlease, to pitch for and win external audits with Westpac, Dexus, and Macquarie Group. Okay, so inside information used as a competitive weapon. Yes, as a competitive weapon. Where does behavior come from? Where does this behavior come from? It doesn't happen because of one rogue partner had a bad idea one afternoon. It happens when the culture has quietly drifted, when winning has become more important than how you win, when performance is celebrated and questions aren't discouraged, right? So that then they are discouraged. So questions are discouraged. So think about Enron, right? The partners at Arthur Andersen weren't all bad people. They operated in a culture where revenue came before integrity. And over time, that became the water that swam in it. And it destroyed them, right? Okay. So think about Wells Fargo. Staff opening up bank accounts to hit sales targets, not because they were criminals, because the culture rewarded numbers and punished questions. So I get so passionate about this because so here's what I want you to do this week. Audit what you actually reward and what you actually tolerate, not what your value statement says. Ask your team, where do they feel the pressure to cut corners, and actually listen without getting defensive. This is really, really important. Leaders who catch culture that drift early are the ones that are willing to hear uncomfortable things while there's still time to change them. And they are the brave ones to act on what they hear. All right, so catch it early, ask the questions. Tip number 2, whistleblowers are not your problem. Ignoring them is. This is why when I'm leading change, it's really important to listen to the resistors. May 2024, a whistleblower formally raises his concerns, and we are now watching the entire senior leadership of KPMG Australia implode. Okay, history is littered with organisations brought down, not by original wrongdoing, but by what happened after someone spoke up, right? So, Boeing and the 737 MAX engineers raised safety concerns that were minimized and also dismissed. 340 people died in 2 crashes, right? Oh my gosh. Is this still happening? The Post Office Horizon scandal, hundreds of innocent postmasters prosecuted for software errors. The people who raised concerns silenced, discredited, destroyed. It took decades for the truth to come out. Whistleblowers aren't threats to your organization. They are the last line of defense before your organization becomes a threat to itself, okay? So this is really important. Ask yourself honestly, if someone in your organization wanted to raise a concern today, what would they trust the process, or would they feel safe? Would they feel safe? Would they actually believe it's going to go somewhere? If the answer is no, even maybe, this is your most important leadership problem, full stop. Building a speak up culture takes time and intentional effort. It does, intentional effort. So tip number 3, in a crisis, silence is petrol on fire. Okay, it is. It is. Staff at KPMG are furious at how leadership communicated, or rather it didn't. Insiders describe people finding out through media reports, sitting in client meetings, having to pretend they knew what was going on when they absolutely did not. Can you believe that? Imagine being in that situation. The absence of communication does not create calm. It creates the worst possible version of truth, because humans, when left out without information, will always fill the gap with fear and then rumor, and then they start calling recruiters. Okay? Have you experienced this? All right. United Airlines 2017, passenger dragged off a plane. Video goes viral. CEO defended staff, called the passenger disruptive, tone deaf, defensive, brain damage. Took years to recover. All right. Compare that to like Johnson & Johnson in 1982, 7 people dead from laced Tylenol. CEO James Burke, right? Immediately, all right? Immediately, can you believe it? Called to action. He absolutely called to action. And that is they're the kind of case studies that we need to be hearing, and leaders that we need to be hearing. Ones like Johnson & Johnson, because you need to be able to understand that silence isn't the key. Communication is the key. I'm going to take a short break. Tell me, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on these examples so far, on these tips? What do you think? Have you experienced this? Take a moment to reflect on this, because it's really, really important that you tell me what you think about this situation. I'll give you a moment to think about, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to end the stream.